everyone. My name is Amy Shannon, and I am the principal of Bloomfield High School. Welcome to our commencement ceremony for the Bloomfield class of 2023. Yeah, give it a clap, absolutely. So before we begin, just a few housekeeping items. We request that you silence all cell phones and electronic devices. The restrooms are located right outside the PAC. And then just please refrain from any air horns or other noise-making devices, as they can be a distraction to speakers and to our students. For those who are not present, you can find the link for a live stream on our Facebook page. Thank you to Dr. Karen Soanes and to Mr. Roger Blackington for helping us out tonight. We really appreciate it. At this time, I would like to invite our standard bearers, Thomas Lindstrom and Sedona Smith, up to the podium. We're going to ask you to please stand and join them as they lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the national anthem, tonight sung by Katie Evans.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets above, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the brave and the home of the free?
You may be seated. Thank you, Katie. At this time, I would like to take this opportunity to recognize our Bloomfield Central School District staff members who are retiring this year. Mrs. Deb Davis, special education teacher, Mrs. Anissa Fowler, secretary, Mrs. Gigi Horwood Benton, special ed teacher, Mrs. Kim Rock, first grade teacher, Mrs. Wendy Rayburn, teaching assistant, Mrs. Amy Reppard, computer services assistant, Mrs. Kathy Rhodes, elementary Spanish teacher, Mrs. Catherine Taylor, director of curriculum and assessment, and Mrs. Catery Warren, who's here tonight, director of pupil personnel services. Thank you all so much for your valuable years of service. I would also like to recognize the members of the Board of Education who have given their time and efforts to support our students. President, Mrs. Pam Nikoski, Vice President, Mr. Jim Spellman, Board members, Mrs. Tanya McFadden, Mr. Ken Mathis, Mrs. Caroline Neville, Mrs. Heather Rickett, and Mr. Scott Layton. Thank you all. We would like to recognize all of our teachers and staff members who are here today. Our seniors had the opportunity to show their gratitude by inviting a staff member to graduation, someone who made a difference and impacted them on their journey. If all of our staff members who are here today, whether in the audience or behind me, could please stand, and let's give them a round of applause. finally, our graduates would not be here tonight without all of the support, love, kindness, and guidance from all of you, family, friends, parents, guardians. We are so grateful that you shared your children with all of us and partnered with us all the way. Thank you. We should give them a clap, right? And to the class of 2023, it's my turn to say just a few words that you've certainly heard me say before. It is a big world out there. In just 90 minutes or so, you will be Bloomfield Central School District graduates, something to be so proud of. There are a few things that I want you to always remember and hopefully take with you. So it's rather simple, number one. It doesn't require money, resources, or even too much effort. Be kind. This world can be tricky and complex, but try to approach people and experiences with kindness and compassion. You will never go wrong. Number two, and you've heard me say this before, look out for each other. And find your people. Find the people that make you better, stronger, and ground you, but most importantly, allow you to be you. There will be times when you may feel unsure, confused, maybe even a little lost. But don't be afraid to lean on others, new friends at college, your professors, your coworkers, your family. Build those relationships and stay true to yourself and your values. Number three, everyone has a story. As I look at all 70 of you, I think about the stories, the vivid experiences yet to be written. Remember though, when faced with a challenging situation, and trust me, you will be, that every person has a story. Try to approach them with empathy and a willingness to learn. You can't go wrong with that. Finally, thank you so much for welcoming me into your class about a year and a half ago. I can look out at all of you and I know just a little bit about your stories. From the first senior meeting back in the fall, to most recently the senior trip to DC, the senior walk, senior day, senior skip day, the water slides, the cookout, like that was awesome, and I love that you chose to pick your senior skip day, your senior prank, and you stayed on our campus to be with each other. I thought that was awesome. Oh, and ice cream at Sharks. That was awesome too, right? I have enjoyed learning more about your stories, and I know that the Bloomfield class of 2023 will always be a part of my story too. And one last time, as I always say, be kind. You'll get a little reminder of that in your envelope after this. Look out for each other, and remember, everyone has a story. Thank you. And at this time, it is my honor to introduce Ms. Sarah Hahn and Ms. Heather Ruger, Bloomfield teachers and senior class advisors, to share a few words.
Thank you, Mrs. Shannon. Class of 2023, here we are, finally. It has been my honor and privilege to be your class advisor since your sophomore year. I'm incredibly proud of you and all of the hard work that you have done to get here. As one of your senior class advisors, I stand before you today with a profound sense of pride and joy. I have had the privilege of witnessing your growth, sharing your triumphs, and guiding you through the ups and downs of this incredible journey. And now, as we gather to celebrate the culmination of your high school experience, it's the long-awaited day, the graduation day. To the class of 2023, you are a group of exceptional individuals who have shown remarkable strength, resilience, and unity. From the first day we met, way back in 6th grade, I could sense the incredible potential that lay within each and every one of you. Over the years, you have exceeded expectations, shattered limits, and proven time and time again that you are capable of achieving greatness. Together, we have faced countless challenges, both expected and unexpected. We navigated the demanding curriculum, the pressures of college applications, and the emotional roller coaster that comes with adolescence. We weathered storms and persevered under the unheard of historical issues brought on by a pandemic. And yet, through it all, we stood firm, united by a shared sense of purpose and a shared determination to succeed. As your advisor, I've watched you grow not only academically, but as individuals. You have become more compassionate, more empathetic, and more aware of the world around you. You have shown kindness to your peers, support to your community, and a genuine desire to make a difference. These qualities will serve you well as you venture out into the world and continue to positively impact the lives of others. Graduation is a bittersweet moment, a time of reflection, gratitude, and anticipation. It is a time to celebrate your accomplishments, bid farewell to the familiar, and embrace the unknown with open arms. As you embark on this new chapter of your lives, I encourage you to remember the valuable lessons that you have learned during your time at BCS. Remember the power of perseverance, the ability to face adversity head-on and to push through challenges and never give up. Life will throw obstacles in your path, but I've witnessed firsthand your resilience and determination. Let those qualities be your guiding light as you navigate the complexities of the future. Remember the importance of community, the support and friendship that you have found within these walls. Cherish the memories you have made, the bonds you have formed, and the shared experiences that have shaped you. Stay connected to one another, for your classmates will be your lifelong allies, confidants, and supporters. Remember the significance of embracing change, the willingness to step outside your comfort zones, to explore new horizons, and embrace the unfamiliar. The world is evolving rapidly, and you have shown a remarkable capacity to adapt. Embrace the opportunities that come your way, seek knowledge, and never stop growing. And lastly, remember to live with purpose, to define your own success, follow your passions, and make a positive impact on the world. Each one of you possesses unique talents, dreams, and aspirations. Let those dreams guide you, and let your actions reflect your commitment to leaving the world a better place than you found it. I'm incredibly proud of all of you. Thank you.
Dear graduates, we started our journey together in 7th grade with the wonderful world of integers and algebra. Many of you would eat lunch in my classroom and you'd talk about dances, pets, and friends. I liked you so much, I came to high school with you, where we learned about geometry and, some of us, loans and mortgages. To be standing here before you as you conclude your career here at BCS is truly remarkable. Time is a funny thing. When you're not looking, it goes way too fast. Every September, the halls look a little different without you graduates. The loss is felt, even through the noise and bustle of new students and the excitement of a new year. I find myself contemplating what I will miss the most, because there are so many special things about this class. I'll miss your camaraderie. When I pass you in the halls, every one of you will exchange a hello or a how are you with me, always willing to share a kind word. I will miss watching you persevere and succeed. You are hard workers, dedicated to your studies, your jobs. We have students at the top of their trade, students earning scholarships, employees of the month at their job, some dedicating themselves to a life of service in the military, and even those opening their own businesses after graduation. I will miss your shenanigans, from tug of war to hot dog wars, hearing about your trucks breaking down, musical chairs, zip lining, riding segways around DC. We've shared them all. And tonight I can add deadlifting in our cap and gown in the weight room to that. I'll miss your passion for your beliefs, from school and world events, even vehicle selections. I've been on the receiving end of some of your debates, and your determination is unmatched. And lastly, I will miss your energy. While I didn't get invited to the slip and slide, I hear it was great. I've also seen you on the dance floor, been dragged out there once or twice myself. And let me say, when it comes to your dance moves, there's truly something special about this class. Yes, Johnny, I'm looking right at you. So please indulge me one last teachable moment with a parting thought. I have a quote on my refrigerator that reads, "Difficult roads often lead to beautiful destinations." And the truth is, when I think about it, none of the best things in my life have come easy. The road we walk always has detours. Some we may foresee, while others blindside us. And in the moment, we may struggle to see the bigger picture. Everything is temporary, the good times, the bad, the frustrations and loss, the success and wins. I encourage you to embrace it all, the fear, the joy, the challenge, and the wonder. Take it all in, feel all the feels. And when the feels get to be too much, remember the love and support of those around you. Because while difficult roads often lead to beautiful destinations, they can always lead you back home. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ruger and Ms. Hahn. The seniors are so fortunate to have had both of you as their class advisors. At this time, it is now my pleasure to introduce our commencement speaker this year, who was nominated and selected by the class of 2023, Mr. Bob Arthur.
Yeah, I can't believe it either. Thank you, Ms. Shannon, and especially the class of 2023 for inviting me to speak tonight. Good evening, administrators, board members, faculty, staff and family, friends, student, and the outgoing class of 2023. Thanks again. I am honored to have been chosen to speak tonight to you all tonight. I started my career here in Bloomfield in 2002. Many of you started your journey in 2010. Approximately 13 years ago, you started your journey in kindergarten with Mr. Daly, Mrs. Hammond, Mrs. Wilson, and Miss Gold. The warm and wonderful teachers that first introduced you to school and how to be comfortable in a new environment. And tonight is all about you. I was a small part of your school day, seeing you for only 30 minutes every other day. I remember your enthusiasm as kindergartners. Some of the things I recall were the smiles, the quick hugs, the energy you would bring to class. The one thing that had me laughing when you all would come to gym is getting to watch you try to walk in a straight line. If the person in front stopped fast, it almost always caused a train wreck. Oh, the life of a kindergartner. But tonight is all about you. One thing I look forward to at the beginning of each school year was seeing the number of changes that you went through over summer break. Getting taller, stronger, starting your journey into becoming young adults. The gym was big back then. It was a place to run, play, be loud, be yourself. With some work and practice, you learned the color of the lines, what the whistle meant, and all the different movements we practiced each time when you came to PE. The school years seemed to go fast. Soon you were in first grade, then second grade. Yes, the years where no one had all their teeth. I remember once sending one of you boys up to the nurse with a deer tooth as a joke. You came back with it in one of those tooth boxes. And you were very excited to take that home that night and put it under your pillow to see if the tooth fairy would give you any money. That's the kind of fun we had together at that age. And tonight is all about you. The year of third grade, this year I believe was one of the many years where you grew socially. Friends would come and go. Some friendships lasted a few days, others weeks or months, and some friendships you carried with you through your high school years and maybe through the rest of your life. Then, fourth and fifth grade years. More changes and growth period, academically, socially, and also when we separated the boys and the girls during PE class. Wow, was that a great idea. Girls were starting to mature, and the boys, we had a long ways to go. I can say though, boys, we had a lot of fun in those 2 years. The dodgeball games, the mat room with wrestling and combative activities, learning how to win and lose in competitive games, learning good sportsmanship, playing fair, realizing we can't win every time, and learning how to be okay with that. Some other memories from elementary school for me were our field days, especially the tug of war being the best. But I will say, I think the most memorable part of fifth grade for me was the Friday before spring break when we had the talk. This was the simplest form of the birds and bees, and all the questions we would get. And tonight is all about you. Then, just like that, boom, off to middle school, locker day, no more walking in lines, moving from class to class independently. Once again, little fish in a big pond. I lost contact with most of you for a few years during middle school, and with some of you during high school too. I was always amazed to see how you each had grown up when I did see you around school. I tried my best to attend sporting events, concerts, and school plays that were always amazing. I stayed active coaching. Those of you that ran track, I had the chance to reconnect with you as young adults, and I thank you for that. Because tonight is all about you. Our school has a mission statement that was written by teachers, students, parents, and administrators. It is simple and goes like this: provide the foundation for each student's future success in the world community. Wow. I feel our Bloomfield community has accomplished that goal, and I truly hope you can feel the same. We are all so proud of your success and your accomplishments so far in life, and can only wish you more in the future. Babe Ruth has a great quote that I like to remember when life challenges arise for me. Never let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game. On a final note, I'd like to share a letter given to me that was written by one of you. I have selected you as my BCS staff member of significance because you have helped me so much in my life. You helped me become the man I am today, and I can't express it enough that I appreciate your existence and part you have played in my life, and I hope you will be in it for many more years. Gets me every time. I was surprised to receive this letter and very honored. There is no doubt you all will do well in the world out there. You have a strong foundation to be successful. Reach for your dreams. Live a good life, whatever that means to you. Because tonight is all about you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Arthur. Will the senior class officers please come forward for your special presentation of the class gift? President Sedona Smith and Madeline Johnson, Vice Presidents Mary Margaret Griffiths and Allie Bachman, Treasurer Andy McFadden, and Secretaries Kate Miller and Peyton Stoddard.
On behalf of the class, I'm happy to present our senior gifts. These include $1,000 towards gifts for seniors at the all-night grad party, $1,000 to the Environmental Club for their upcoming courtyard project and a picnic table dedicated to the class of 2023, a class trip to Sharks, a framed graduation composite in the school hallway, and the remaining funds to be split evenly among the incoming 6th through 11th grade classes. We would also like to take this moment to extend an enormous thank you to our class advisors, Ms. Hahn, Ms. Ruger, and Ms. Baller-Smith, along with the support of class members' families. You have made our years beyond special, and we couldn't have done it without you. Thank you.
Thank you, Sedona and the class officers. At this point, we will now enjoy a musical selection, Long Live by Taylor Swift, performed by the Jazz Choir under the direction of Mrs. Laura Moore. Thank you to the jazz choir. It is now my pleasure at this time to introduce Mr. James Spellman, Vice President, Board of Education, who will present the Marion Hallock Awards.
Good evening. Every year since 1981, the Board of Education has had the honor and privilege of presenting the Marion S. Hallock Award to up to 2 members of the Bloomfield school community. The award is presented in memory of Marion Hallock, who served as our elementary school principal for 23 years. The award in Mrs. Hallock's name was established to honor district employees who touch the lives of our students in special ways. Any current district employee can be nominated for this award. The criteria for nomination are that the person goes beyond the call of duty, is an exceptional friend to, or an outstanding role model for students, or excels at getting along with others. This year's recipients definitely meet these expectations. Each award recipient tonight will be presented with a unique work of art created by one of our talented student artists. The pieces selected for this year's recipients are pottery bowls that were created by Bryn Westlake and Sierra Cohen. We'd like to thank them for donating their amazing work so that we can present them tonight. Bryn, would you please join us? And I'm not sure if we're able to get Sierra too to attend with us. I'd like to thank BCS retiree Mr. Pat Crowley, who donated a great deal of time sharing his experiences with Mrs. Hallock to help us create a video to promote this award. I'd also like to thank the nomination committee, made up of board members and past award recipients, for their time and support. They had a challenging task this year as we received a record number of nominations. Lastly, I'd like to thank Mrs. Amy Weilet, who helped inspire our artists and coordinated their donations. Tonight's first Marion Hallock Award recipient has been with us for 5 years. He's described as someone who's always engaged in what he's doing and takes pride in a job well done. He genuinely enjoys his coworkers. He loves to laugh and is quick to contribute to a conversation with a joke of his own. You'll find him always learning new things and putting his many skills to work for the district. He sets high standards that are evident in the quality of his work. He's described as a living example of just how far-reaching and impactful consistent positivity from a single individual can be. Whether it's trimming the district's fence lines, coming early to plow snow, staying late to prep our fields for sporting events, staying late to cover cleaning shifts, he always steps up and goes the extra mile. His work benefits our students, our district, and our entire community. On behalf of the Board of Education, it's my pleasure to present the Marion Hallock Award to Mr. John Grunman. John, will you please join us? Thank you, absolutely. Tonight's second Marion Hallock Award recipient has been described as someone who creates an environment where students feel safe and comfortable. In her 22 years with the district, she focuses on classroom culture and building a community of leaders. She understands that when students feel like they belong, they achieve greater academic success and build confidence. She gives of her time in many ways, donating endless personal time in a variety of ways, including class advisor, winter guard, middle school council, and IB CAS. She connects with students and makes learning meaningful and applicable. Her work-study students can be found helping our bus drivers, cafeteria workers, and working with our elementary students. Recently, she and her work-study students opened the BCS, the Bloomfield Coffee Shop, where students learned about buying and selling inventory, customer service, advertising, and further developed their math skills. On behalf of the Board of Education, it's my pleasure to present the Marion Hallock Award to Mrs. Kelly Grunman. Please join me again in congratulating these two shining examples of what makes Bloomfield great. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Spellman, and congratulations. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce our salutatorian for the class of 2023. Madeline Johnston, come on up. I'm going to talk about you a little bit, okay? Madeline is the daughter of Ann Johnston and sister of Jack Johnston, who is now a 7th grader. Next year, she will attend RIT and will be in the Accelerated Physician's Assistant Program. Madeline participated in the New Visions program at Thompson Hospital, which gave her an extensive inside look at medical careers. Madeline was active in the Interact Club, National Honor Society, and IB-CAS. She was also a senior class officer, as you just saw. Madeline participated on the varsity soccer team and played in the high school band. Fellow seniors nominated her for the most school spirit and social butterfly. At this time, I'd like to welcome Madeline to the podium for the commencement speech.
First week of 6th grade, a plastic chandelier in my locker, my combination memorized, and outfits that I thought at the time were cute. I was ready to make my mark, and did I ever. I was so excited for our class team building trip to Camp Arrowhead, but shortly after we got there, I got a terrible migraine. Mr. Fargnoli, our brand new principal, offered to bring me back to school so my mom could pick me up. Mrs. Conklin came along, and to this day, she is one of the only people who know the story until now. The car ride didn't go so well. I found myself puking all over the back seat and all over Mr. Fargnoli's brand new Bloomfield jacket. I'm told he had to have the car professionally cleaned, and I'll never forget making the walk of shame to his office a few days later, returning the jacket my mom had washed 4 or 5 times. Let's just say it was a little awkward seeing him in the hallways the rest of the year, but nonetheless, he was always supportive of me, just like all the administrators, teachers, and coaches have been through the years. I would just like to express my gratitude to all of them. Just like our parents, they've invested so much in us. And a special thank you to my mom for supporting, inspiring, and encouraging me ever since I can remember. When I threw up in Mr. Fargnoli's car, for example, she told me we would laugh about it someday, and she was right. Together, our parents and teachers have often laughed along with us as we navigated our teenage years. Mr. Hoffman probably didn't think it was funny at the time, but another memory that stands out is almost getting kicked out of our 8th grade band trip to King's Dominion because we were being a little too rowdy. We weren't threatened with getting kicked out of Darien Lake, but we did have a lot of fun riding around on the giant motorized stuffed animals. We may or may not have come a little too close to some of the park visitors, but thankfully it's safe to say I think our driving skills have improved, for most of us, I could say. Senior year has been especially fun, and the senior trip was definitely a highlight. We spent way too much money on electric scooters, and a Rainbow Bill will always be in our hearts. Senior ball was memorable too, and I bet many of us will probably never forget how a car blew a red light and ran into our party bus before we even made it to ball, but we still managed to have fun. The senior walk last week brought everything full circle, seeing many of our old teachers as our parents waited outside the elementary school, reflecting on how many of us have known each other since UPK or even earlier. And I'll never forget the past 14 years with you guys, so thank you for everything. We are really lucky to have grown up in a small community, building relationships with each other and with teachers. We have gotten to know them pretty well, and in fact, I learned this year that Mrs. Arbor is like deathly afraid of squirrels. I'm sorry, Mrs. Arbor, she's not here. Maybe it's because we know each other so well that we can appreciate the value of supporting each other, treating each other with respect, and just being a good person. That's something all of us can do, no matter what our situation is or what our plans are. Life can be hard, and challenges can seem overwhelming. We need to be there for each other. We need to make sure our friends are okay and look out for others too. It's just as important to be gentle with ourselves. In a world full of negativity, the last person you need criticism from is yourself. Give yourself credit when credit is due, and don't be so harsh when you make a mistake or things don't go as you planned. We are all here to help each other. That's the best thing we can do for our future. Because the future isn't something we enter, it's something we create. We are the future, so let's take our memories and our gratitude for our experiences here in Bloomfield, and let's move forward with compassion, empathy, and integrity. I would just like to close with a quote I found that I think will serve us well. Negativity is contagious, unhappiness is contagious, fear is contagious, but so is happiness, so is optimism, and so is love. Surround yourself with people who bring out the best in you, and strive to be a reflection of what you want to receive. Thank you.
Thank you, Maddie. At this time, I ask for the senior graduation choir to join us for the district alma mater under the direction of Bloomfield Middle School High School Choral Music Director, Mrs. Laura Moore. Would everyone please stand and join us in the singing of the Bloomfield Central School alma mater. The words are on page 2 in your program. Our 2023 valedictorian is Leah Cavagnaro. Leah, do you want to come down right now? That'd be great. I'm going to say a few things about you. Leah is the daughter of Melissa and John Cavagnaro and sister to Emma, Owen, and Evan. Next year, she will attend Nazareth College and will be in the Accelerated Occupational Therapy program. In her senior year, she was accepted to the New Visions Health Therapy class that helped her with the decision to enter the health field. Leah participated in high school student council and played an integral role in planning school-wide events. Leah plays in the band, has performed in 5 of Bloomfield Theater's musicals and plays. We are proud to call her our valedictorian, Leah Cabanero.
Thank you. Success is the ability to go from one failure to another with no loss of enthusiasm. Winston Churchill. I hope I just made my mom happy. The number one piece of advice that I received when I was writing this speech was to include a quote from a famous person. I don't know about you, but I already forgot that quote. We don't incorporate these phrases into so much of our lives, but they're utterly meaningless. We see them framed in the living room, on birthday cards, and on coffee mugs, but how often do these quotes actually develop a meaning? I'd argue that they actually don't have any meaning at all. In fact, as I look out on a sea of grad caps pasted with inspirational quotes, I'm going to encourage you to reflect on your high school experience in a different way. The people I interacted with on a daily basis have taught me so much more than an inspirational quote could ever make me reflect upon. I've learned how to be more social, I've learned conflict resolution skills, but most of all, I've learned how to be the kind of person that I want to see more of in the world. I think we can all agree that we did not come to school just to get homework. The relationships that we developed are what made it all worth it to walk through the doors every day at the crack of dawn. When you see words on the wall every day, you become immune to their meaning. They begin to blend into the background. Relationships demand constant attention, creating a dynamic learning opportunity. The people closest to me have advised me as I've been through the hardest things this year. They've helped me navigate the college application process, quit my first job, learn to drive, and they calmed me down when I was going crazy being stressed out. Inspirational quotes aren't that versatile. As much as you may want to leave this place behind, I urge you not to reduce it down to an inspirational quote that will melt into a picture on the wall. The relationships we've created are valuable. As we continue on and go our separate ways, stay connected. Our relationships are what got us through high school, and they can guarantee our success in the future. You may not always remember that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, or what that means, but you will remember the people who were important to you. Thank you for being important to me.
Thank you, Leah. I would now ask Mrs. Pamela Nikoski, Board of Ed President, to join me at the podium. Mrs. Nikoski and members of the Board of Education, it is my honor to officially state that the members of the Bloomfield Central School District Class of 2023 have met the requirements set forth by the Commissioner of Education and are all eligible to graduate on this 23rd day of June. At this time, I'd like to welcome Ms. Sarah Hahn and Ms. Heather Ruger for the awarding of diplomas and graduation awards. Ms. Hahn and Ms. Ruger will read the names and the awards received. Descriptions of the awards can be found in your program.
Ethan Thomas Adams Johnson, Ferris Elise Wyan, Class of 2021 Memorial Scholarship, going to Miami-Dade College. Brecken Allgood, going into the workforce. Jaylene Baez Cintron, going into the workforce. Allison E. Bachman, top 10, Center Court Club Scholarship, Ionia Women's Club Award, Stanley O. Steele Memorial Scholarship, going to SUNY Polytechnic Institute. Quinn Baylor, going into the workforce. Charlotte Pearl Behrens, going to Finger Lakes Community College. Ashley Elizabeth Bell, Ladies Auxiliary of the East Bloomfield Fire Department Award, Louise Collins Memorial Scholarship, will be going to Nazareth University. Caleb J. Beaven, going to the Southeastern Lineman Training Center. Zachary John Bilger, Trigadar Incorporated Service Award, will be going to Alfred State College. Ozzie Brooks, Keith Bica Patricia Mayer Memorial Scholarship, will be going to Nazareth University. Cecilia Ann Brown, Finger Lakes Community College. Olivia Burry, returning to Switzerland to continue her studies. Jake Lee Cameron, going to Finger Lakes Community College. Kyle Christopher Kashani, going into the workforce. Tristan James Casperson, David W. Mansfield O. Yes You Can Scholarship, will be going to SUNY Fredonia. Michael Casano, top 10, Bloomfield Memorial Scholarship, Carol Bacon Memorial Scholarship, Finger Lakes Community College. Evan Allen Cavanero, David Spencer Hedges Award, going into the workforce. Leah Faith Cavanaro, Valedictorian, top 10, Community Volunteer Award, Dudek and Geiger Family Scholarship, Lawrence J. Chavez Memorial Scholarship, Milnor Lodge Science Achievement Award, Scholarship for Academic Excellence, will be going to Nazareth University. Lucas William Culp, Charles F. Walters Memorial Scholarship, Claude and Carol Cresswell Service Above Self Scholarship, going to SUNY Oswego. Jonathan Matthew Day, going to SUNY Brockport. Sage Donahoe, going into the workforce. Cullen Fisher, going into the workforce. Alexander Galarno, going to SUNY Plattsburgh. Heather Gangemi, going to St. John Fisher University. Ethan Gantz, going to Finger Lakes Community College. Shem M. Gossage Jr., going to Finger Lakes Community College. Mary Margaret A. Griffiths, Jean Hogue Service Scholarship, Mark and Kathy Robinson Volleyball Scholar Athlete Award, going to the Fashion Institute of Technology. Ava Jane Hawkins, Colleen Marinacci Memorial Scholarship, Community Volunteer Award, going to Brigham Young University. Jessica Henderson, going into the workforce. Madeline Johnson, Salutatorian, top 10, Angel and Freddie Rivera Memorial Scholarship, Jeremy Sangster Memorial Scholarship, Scholarship for Academic Excellence, going to Rochester Institute of Technology. Brennan Robert Kirk, top 10, Bloomfield Lions Club Scholarship, will be going to Binghamton University. Aiden Klug, going into the workforce. Rylan M. Kobus, PTSA Scholarship, going to Alfred State College, excuse me. Evelyn Elizabeth Langer, going to Finger Lakes Community College.
Blaine Lobby, going to the workforce. Garrett Lester, Rochester Institute of Technology. Thomas Frederick Lindstrom, top 10, Bloomfield Lions Club Scholarship, Bloomfield Parents for Music Award, will going to UB, University at Buffalo. Sander J. Mapstone, Donald M. Brennan Senior Memorial Sportsmanship Award, Milner Lodge Science Achievement Award, going to Clarkson University. Andrew McFadden, top 10, class of 1982 in memory of Coach Gordon Joseph's Award, David Spencer Hedges Memorial Scholarship, going to SUNY Geneseo. Jack Meyer, National Honor Society Red Cross Scholarship, going to Alfred University. Katrin H. Miller, Coach Janine L. Pessel Memorial Scholarship, Ferris Elise Wyant Memorial Scholarship, James Saxby Memorial Award, going to SUNY Cortland. Braden Moore, going to Finger Lakes Community College. Nicole Negron Clement, going into the workforce. Ryan Opelt, going into the workforce. True Isabella Porner, going into the workforce. Abby Elizabeth Pratt, Harriet M. Goodsell Memorial Scholarship, Richard J. Ertl and Family Scholarship, going to the Southeastern Lineman Training Center. Aiden K. Prouty, going into the workforce. Damian J. Provorce, going into the workforce. Isabella G. Richmond, class of 1982 in memory of Thomas Timms Award, Edith K. Brennan Memorial Award, R. Jack Searing Memorial Scholarship, headed to Finger Lakes Community College. Aiden Matthew Rogers, Center Court Club Scholarship, going to Alfred State College. Tyler Rogers, going to Corning Community College. Samantha Rothfuss, Louise Collins Memorial Scholarship, going to Keuka College. Emily Rougie, William D. Murphy Memorial Scholarship, going to Finger Lakes Community College. Sean K. Rubenstein, going into the workforce. Nicole Rutherford, going to Finger Lakes Community College. Scott Rutherford, going into the workforce. Damian Schreier, going into the workforce. Oh, sorry, I said it wrong, sorry. I'm sorry, Jacob, I missed you. Jacob R. Sampson, going into the workforce. Sedona Smith, top 10, Bloomfield Professional Educators Association Scholarship, Harriet M. Goodsell Memorial Scholarship, Helen Wheeler Memorial Scholarship, going to Finger Lakes Community College in SUNY Geneseo. Jonah Matthew Smythe, going into the workforce. Peyton J. Stoddard, top 10 Bloomfield Memorial Scholarship, going to Finger Lakes Community College. Garrett H. Surgoyne, going to the University of British Columbia. Ian C. Talley, going into the workforce. Tyler Tones, East Bloomfield Fire Department Award, going into the workforce. Dustin J. Almer, Patrick Parish Memorial Scholarship, going into the workforce. Jackson E. Valvo, going into the workforce. Nicholas Wagner, going into the workforce. Gabriel Ward, top 10, Howard L. Chapel Memorial Scholarship, Scholarship for Academic Excellence, going to St. Lawrence University. Noel Edward Wido will be going to the Southeastern Lineman Training Center. And Helena Williams, Bloomfield Parents for Music, Meg Murphy Memorial Scholarship, Finger Lakes Community College.
All right, at this time, I would like to welcome our superintendent, Mr. Andrew Dole, to provide some closing remarks.
Good evening. As a sports fan, I cannot help but think about a quote from former NC State basketball coach Jim Valvano on a day like today. Jim Valvano once said, "To me, there are three things everyone should do every day. Number one is laugh. Number two is think. Spend some time in thought. Number three, you should have your emotions move you to tears. If you laugh, think, and cry, that's a heck of a day." As I think about graduation day, it certainly is a heck of a day by any standard. I want to begin my remarks by thanking our Board of Education, our faculty, support staff, and our administration for their efforts during this school year. It's humbling to serve in a district that has so many individuals who seek to offer great opportunities to our students and who seek to put our students first in all they do. I would like to specifically thank our high school principal, Amy Shannon, for her leadership and for her time and effort in coordinating tonight's graduation ceremony. As a former high school principal, I know how much time and effort goes into a school year, as well as into planning this ceremony. Her efforts are appreciated. I also want to thank Scott Hoffman and Laura Moore for their participation tonight, and I want to thank Mrs. Hahn, Mrs. Ruger, and Mrs. Baylor-Smith for all they have done for the class of 2023 as their advisors. I want to thank Mrs. Kleiner and Mr. Parzak for their efforts coordinating tonight's graduation ceremony. They've gone above and beyond, and their efforts are greatly appreciated. I also want to recognize Mr. Roger Blackington for his work with the sound and lighting tonight, and for his work with sound and lighting throughout the year. Roger's been an excellent addition to our district, and we appreciate all he does to allow our students to shine. At this time, I would also like to take a moment to recognize our two retiring district administrators, Cateri Warren and Kathy Taylor. Together, Mrs. Warren and Mrs. Taylor have given a combined 86 years of service to the field of education and a combined 61 years of service to the Bloomfield Central School District. During their time with us,
They have made many contributions to the district, and they have been instrumental in bringing new opportunities for our students. They will be greatly missed, and we wish them all the best in their retirement. Finally, I want to thank our graduates, the parents who are here tonight, and our community. Graduates, you have made meaningful contributions to our school district and have helped make our community and school a better place. You've donated your time and service to others, have participated actively in clubs, interscholastic athletics, music programs, and drama productions, and have left us with wonderful memories as a result. As a class, you have developed an impressive list of personal and collective accomplishments, and I want to thank you for your leadership and for the way you have represented our school district. Parents, nights like tonight do not just happen. Your investment in the lives of our graduates, your willingness to take them to practices, rehearsals, your volunteer work, and your love and support are a big reason why our graduates have been able to accomplish what they have, and I want to thank you for everything you have done to help get our students here. I also want to thank our community for their unwavering support of our school district and the students that we serve. Our community continues to be quick to partner with us to help provide support for our students and teachers. Bloomfield is a very special place, and I cannot thank our community enough for its willingness to work together with us. As I thought about my comments to our graduates tonight, I spent some time reflecting on what a special occasion this is. As a graduate, tonight marks the end of your time in the Bloomfield School District and marks the start of a new beginning, a new journey. This is a special night. The beginning of this journey is exciting, but your journey, as all journeys do, will come with challenges, bumps, some failures, and various obstacles that will creep onto your path. Some of those obstacles in your path may even be quite literal. Am I right, Peyton? While it may seem a bit strange to discuss challenges and the potential for future failures at a ceremony where we are celebrating achievement, the reality is that challenges and failures are part of life and of growth. I guarantee that every person in this room has encountered challenges and failures in their lives. And the truth is that the challenges and even the failures you will face moving forward will make your future successes all the more meaningful and will make the next phase of your life more exciting. The subject of failure came up a few months ago when one of the stars of the NBA's Milwaukee Bucks responded to a question after his team had been eliminated from the NBA playoffs. His team was favored to win this year's NBA championship, but was ultimately eliminated early on in the playoffs. He's been widely applauded for what is viewed today as a very healthy response to failure or losing. Here's what he said when asked if the season was a failure. It's not a failure, it's steps to success. There's always steps to it. Michael Jordan played 15 years, won 6 championships. The other 9 years were a failure? That's what you're telling me? It's the wrong question, he continued. There's no failure in sports. There's good days, bad days. Some days you're successful, some days you're not. Some days it's your turn, some days it's not your turn. And that's what sports is about. You don't always win, sometimes other people win, and this year, somebody else is going to win, simple as that. This response is reflective of a healthy view of reality, and his thoughts do not just apply to sports. His comments also are reflective of an important quality to demonstrate in life, a growth mindset. The world will tell us that you either win or lose, you succeed or fail, you make it or you don't. But the reality is, life is filled with obstacles and disappointments. But obstacles, disappointments, and failures are never permanent, and they certainly are not a curse unless you allow them to be. In fact, they can actually be a blessing. Challenges and failures can make you stronger and better as long as you choose to persevere. Angela Lee Duckworth is one of the most prominent experts in growth mindset and has studied hundreds of people throughout her career. She notes that the people most likely to find success are people who tend to persevere. She notes that those who tend to persevere don't believe failure is a permanent condition. Graduates, as you leave us and begin your new journey, we want you to leave with a sincere belief you can make a positive impact in this world. The thing you must never forget is that to make a great impact, you also must dare to dream big. And if you dream big, there will be times when you will struggle, and there will be times when you fail. And if you fail, you will be in some pretty good company. Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, was cut from his high school basketball team. Walt Disney was once fired by a newspaper editor for a lack of ideas. Henry Ford failed and went broke 5 times before he finally was successful. Babe Ruth, who is considered one of baseball's greatest home run hitters, holds the record for the most strikeouts. It took Thomas Edison over 1,000 tries before he successfully invented the light bulb, and Abraham Lincoln was defeated in more elections than he won. Each of these people, and we could list countless others, dreamed big and persevered despite the challenges and failures they faced. Graduates, as you leave us, I want to encourage you to dream big. I want to encourage you to chase your dreams despite the challenges and obstacles you may face. I want you to know that the people in this room believe in you and are proud of you. And I want you to know that you can do anything you put your mind to if you don't give up. Teddy Roosevelt once said, "Far better is it to dare mighty things, to win glorious triumphs, even though checkered by failure, than to rank with those poor spirits who never enjoy nor suffer much, because they live in a gray twilight that knows not victory or defeat." This quote speaks to the fact that there are 2 types of people in the world: those who dare to achieve big things, even if it means risking failure, and those who elect to play it safe and live in that gray twilight that knows no victory or defeat. Be the type of person who dares to achieve great things. You have all the talent and all the ability you need. If you can combine that talent and ability with a growth mindset and perseverance, you can achieve anything. Graduates, as you leave Bloomfield to face new challenges, remember that you are never alone. Know that you always have a place here, and know that as long as the Bloomfield Central School District exists, you will always be a part of our school community. This community will always be ready to help you, ready to celebrate with you, and ready to encourage and support you when you need it. Congratulations, class of 2023, on this special moment in your lives. Dream big. It's time for the next challenge. You are more than ready.
Thank you, Mr. Dole. So the ceremony could not have happened, and Mr. Dole really took my thank yous away, so thank you for that. It couldn't have happened without the help of and support of so many here. We appreciate all of you. So here's the time we've been waiting for. So if the class of 2023 could all please stand. Yep, here we go. At this time, please move your tassel from right to left. Friends and families, the Bloomfield Central School District Class of 2023 graduates. So that concludes our ceremony. We're going to do a recessional and we can meet everybody in the foyer. Congratulations, be safe, and have a great night, everyone. Thank you so much.
We don't go.